Show's about to begin in 1 minute, y'all. 1 minute. 1 minute. We getting ready to blast off into the Nelly universe, into that thinking outside the box. Village Conversations with Nelly. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for inspiring me and encouraging me to go ahead and move forward and to do this podcast. Again, I thank my big bro, Toucan, for allowing me to have this opportunity in this slot, and my big sis, Rosie. Thank you for just lighting this fire inside of me, and I'm grateful. This is my second episode, y'all. Second episode. I got some really good feedback from my first episode. I don't feel as nervous as I did when I first started. I started on the X radio with Rosie Porter. That was an experience, and shout out to my boy Dom. Shout out to everybody that joined me on that experience. It was awesome. Let's just settle down into our seat. Wherever you are, if you're at work, if you're at home, just settle into your space. Soften your gaze, allow your eyes to come to a gentle close as you prepare your mind for this conversation. Focus on your breath as you breathe in slow and controlled with intention. Exhale, cleanse, and release with purpose. Come into this conversation with a clear mindset and a pure heart. Prepare yourself for what is about to take place today and be open-minded to receive my opinion. That's solely what it is. Keep these words at the forefront of your mind as we prepare to go into this practice. I like to lead with an affirmation. The warrior, the warrior. I embrace my inner strength, power, and resilience, and I allow myself to shine. I unfold my full potential as an empowered person with a true sense of who I am. I grow in consciousness as I overcome and transcend life's challenges. I need the warrior inside me for the journey ahead, and I am courageous in moving forward. Keep these words at the forefront of your mind as we prepare to come into this discussion. Slowly blink your eyes open to a soft and gentle gaze. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Shake it off. Let's get into it, y'all. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get back. 1 week is just it seems like it takes forever for this Thursday to get here, but I'm grateful because it gives me a lot of material, a lot of things that I write notes about. I watch the news, I watch TMZ, anything that is pertaining to what's going on right now, reading the paper, and just talking to people in general. You get to find out what's going on around you, what's going on in the world, right? So I definitely, because I live in Philly, and Philly is where my heart lies, this is my city, I always got to talk about what's going on in my city. Well, no, let me back that up, because I just want to say rest in peace to Olivia Newton-John. All right, let's get physical. Greece, let's rest in peace to that legend. And I also want to shed some light on justice for Ahmaud Arbery. That was definitely a milestone that Black people, I feel like, and all people, we fought for justice for that young man. And that was some great news. So I want to just start, with that. Everything doesn't have to be so heavy, right? So let's just start with a couple of light little things that I want to talk about that came up on the news. So one of the things was using a leash on your kids, right? If you have small children and they might be a little unruly, might not listen, are you against putting a leash on your child? And I saw this on the news. There was a white man, and he had about, I think, maybe some quintuplets or something. They were all the same age, and they were all on a leash. And, of course, some people feel as though that's inhumane. Oh, my God, da-da-da-da. Well, would you rather see that parent whooping their child's ass because they can't control them, or that child isn't listening? Me personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. I remember when all of my kids were smaller, and me and my cousin Kiana, shout out to Kiana, when all of our kids were small and we would go to the mall, I swear I want to say I think she might have leashed the kids. I think we might have been one of the pioneers on that leashing trend, because they were out of control when they were little. And kids think that department stores are like amusement parks. They want to hide in the racks. They want to run around. They want to roll on the floor. You can't even focus. You can't shop. You can't enjoy your experience, especially if you bring kids with you. So If you don't agree with the leash situation, don't bring your kids shopping. That's an easy solution, right? Don't bring your kids shopping with you. If you don't think that you can control your children or whatever the case, don't bring them. Keep them home. Because I know I couldn't really enjoy myself when my kids were small. I was just like over the whole experience, you know? Feel free to tune in, comment on live chat, check in with me. I want to see what you guys think. I want to see what you guys have to say about the topics that I bring up. And again, this is just my opinion. Okay, it's not law. It's not, I mean, maybe my opinion might be fact, some of it. Okay, I try not to tell you no lies, but don't persecute me. This is like, we live in a cancel culture. That's another thing I want to talk about as a podcaster, as a person who is constantly in front of, hi, Dora, a person who's constantly in front of the public and talking to the public. I have to be careful and be mindful of what I say, right? But at the same time, I want to be authentic and I want to be true to myself and I want to speak the truth, my truth, whatever that is. So I have to be like mindful, but at the same time, real, because I'm going to say what I want to say and I'm going to say it how I want to say it. And hopefully I convey it in a way where it can be received. Outside of that, sorry in advance for anybody who I might offend. That's just my little public service announcement. I apologize in advance if you're offended by anything that comes on my podcast, but I'm not going to take it back. I'm not going to backtrack on anything that I say on here. That ain't me. I don't like when I see people make statements in the public eye and then they try to reel it back and say, oh, well, you know, I didn't really know. I meant it. I said what I meant. Now, maybe I could say it a different way, but I'm not going to backtrack on nothing I say on this podcast. I mean whatever I say on here. Now, if I make a false statement, I don't have a problem with somebody correcting me. I don't mind getting checked. But if you come and check me, you better be correct. That's all I know. That part, right? All right, moving on. Move away from that. So now I also want to talk about the eviction of the 40th Street University City tenants. And I got mixed feelings on this, people. So right now there's a big thing going on. And if you live in an urban city, I'm pretty sure that your neighborhood is being gentrified or somewhere around you is being gentrified. And this is the reality that we deal with living in low-income neighborhoods or urban neighborhoods. We get pushed out, right? So what's happening right now is the owners of the University City townhouses have sold this property, this land or whatever, to new owners. And as a result of them selling these properties, the tenants have to move. Now, I don't know exactly how much time they gave the tenants. Now, from my knowledge, most of the tenants have moved out. But the ones who haven't were camping out in front, putting tents out. The other day, the police forced whoever was camping out and protesting to move. It pulled on my heartstrings a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Because I used to live in a housing project in Connecticut. Shout out to the island in New Haven, Connecticut, Downing Street. And similar situation, about 18, 19 years ago, they decided they wanted to knock those units down and rebuild new ones. And we had the option to take the Section 8, move out of, those units and move to somewhere else, keep the Section 8 for a year, transfer it out of state, do whatever you wanted with your voucher, or move into these apartments that they selected for you. And then when the units were ready, you had the option to move back in. But you had to comply, right? Compliance is everything. Like you couldn't just say, oh, I'm not moving because I'm attached to this place. It didn't work that way. Whether you wanted to take either option or not, you had to get out. So my question to some of these tenants, and I'm hoping, and shout out to the UC townhouse residents and anybody that's watching this, if you know anybody that lives there or used to live there, and they might want to come on here and have a voice, Send them my way. I want them to have a voice. I think that it's sad to watch people be pushed out and pushed out of their homes. And I live in West Philly, so this impacts me even as their neighbor, because this means that we're going to possibly have more homeless people on the streets. Families are going to be misplaced. So this is an issue. And this is an issue across the board because people are just being pushed out and we're not being prepared. We're not given the resources to figure out housing. Even if you do get a housing voucher, the rent is so high that you can't move in there. Your voucher might not even be for that amount. So now you can't move into the nicer places. And now you have to settle for the shitty places because that's what you can afford and that's what's out here. So the rental market is so crazy that it's in your best interest to buy, people. Let's start with the real issues that a lot of us don't even know or are ignorant to home ownership. And that is how a lot of us get pushed out too, because we don't own anything. Like Jay-Z said, you fighting over the block that your mama renting. Like, what are you doing? It's not your block. You can't claim something that doesn't belong to you. So I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not coming down at the residents at all in no way, shape, or form, but I have to keep it real. Because if they gave you a time frame and they said that these were your options and you just refused to take those options, then what? Now you're looking crazy because you should have put your pride aside, do whatever you need to do. Or in this time, get your credit together so that you can buy a house, so that you can move out. It's just a sad situation, y'all. And I think this falls back on our councilmen, our leaders. Like, how can you, as a mayor, just watch that happen? Watch people be misplaced and not, put a stop to this. And to the investors, because there's so many different dynamics to this. Do you think that you just gonna be able to build something without repercussion? People are very angry and upset. So do you think that you're just gonna come in from wherever you live, because you probably don't live here in the city, and you're just gonna build? And you think people are not going to come in there and probably steal the stuff that you're installing in there? Break the windows out, graffiti all over the exterior of the units. So think about that too, investors. Think about where you're buying these properties and the repercussions of your purchases. Who these purchases are really affecting. Are you improving our communities, or are you really just pushing us out? We are a part of the community too. Brown faces matter. So don't think that you could just come up here, increase our property value, the taxes, and push us out and leave us no options. Even building low income housing. Like, don't push people out and then tell them you don't know where they're going to go. That's just not cool. That's inhumane. That's inhumane. If you're worried about anything, that's what's inhumane. Is seeing people go from having housing where they've probably been there for years. We're not talking about people that just been living there for years. Like, some of those people have been there 20 years. That's the only home they know. They've raised their kids there. Some people have physical conditions that prevent them from being able to go to work and be able to afford normal market rent. What happens to these people? What happens to the older people who can't afford nursing homes, senior living? That's expensive. So we have to change the narrative for our community, for our people. I feel like everything is going up. Cost of everything is going up, and not income. Income is staying the same, and cost of living is going up, from gas to food. Bought bread and orange juice the other day, and damn it if the damn bread was more than orange juice. Come on, like, what is that? How can people afford to feed their families? Bread should not be almost damn near $4 for one loaf, not the double pack, y'all. One loaf. Ridiculous. I'm just over it. So I'm speaking on all the things that I feel like just piss me off a little bit. So now to a more serious topic, and it saddens me to even talk about this, but it's necessary because domestic violence is real. And there are people going through it right now. You probably know someone in your family who's being abused. And don't think that a domestic violence is only for women. Men are in abusive relationships too. Okay? So, a couple days ago, a mother of 6, 32-year-old woman, mother of six beautiful little angels who no longer have a mother, unfortunately, at the hands of their father, right in West Philly, 54th and Chestnut, 3 blocks away from where I work. I work at 51st and Chestnut. In broad daylight, this man proceeds to jump in the van where his baby mama, fiance, is and stabbed her somewhere around 18 times. So, like, just filled with rage that the knife was left lodged in her head. Be clear, people. Right here, West Philly. Now, I found out about it on D.L. Hughley's page. That's how big this story is. I found out about this on Instagram on D.L. Hughley's page. Shout out to D.L. Hughley for always putting out there the things that happen in our communities and the things that happen to Black people. So shout out to you, D.L. Hughley, for just keeping our eyes open and making us aware when we sometimes want to act like we don't see and we don't know and we don't care. We have to care. Because this is a tragedy, y'all. Like, them 6 babies don't have their mother or their father. Because he's in jail. Never to get out. He needs to never be released. But how do you do that to someone that you claim you love? Because he must have loved her. He proposed to her. They were engaged. You had 6 beautiful children with this woman. But you are that weak that the thought of losing her makes you snap to the point where you want to take her life. Like, is it worth it now? I want to ask him, was it worth it? All of that rage that you inflicted on that woman that you claim you love, is it worth it now? When all you had to do was move on. She had a PFA on him. So be clear, sometimes that does not protect you. Law enforcement, please do better. Stop encouraging women and men, people who are abused in general, to come down and file these protective orders. That's not going to protect them. That girl should not be dead right now. Maybe she underestimated the fact that, and I'm pretty sure he probably has told her before he would kill her. I don't think that behavior like that just pops up out of nowhere. And clearly she was abused by him before. That's why she had the protective order. And what did law enforcement do to help her? What did they do to protect her? I don't, that has to change. We have to do something about, protecting people who are abused. Just going down to the police station and getting a protective order and waving that in front of your abuser's face, they're going to laugh at that piece of paper. That piece of paper is not a shield. It's not going to shield you from a bullet, and it's not going to shield you from a knife or a punch. So rest in peace to that beautiful soul who unfortunately had to lose her life at the hands of a man that she loved. But love is not supposed to hurt people. If you are in an abusive relationship, please tell somebody, say something to someone, get out. Don't allow that person to manipulate you and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. If they did it once, they will do it again. Get out. No one deserves to be beat. No one deserves to be abused. And abuse is not just physical. If someone is abusing you mentally, emotionally, financially, get out. And I'm speaking from experience. Get out. It ain't worth it. It's not worth staying with somebody who feels as though they can control you in any way. Get out. So as a community, as a village, since this is about village conversations, I call on the community in some way, at least starting with West Philly, because this is our community that this happened in. Those little girls need support. That family, whoever is left with the burden and responsibility of caring for now 6 children, that family needs help, y'all. School's about to start. Those babies need uniforms. Whoever is taking on their financial responsibility, those people, they're going to need help. Counseling, therapy. Please don't allow those children to just go back to school like nothing ever happened. They lost their mother and their father. They need to have a voice. They need to be able to talk about it. That is the only way that those kids will be able to heal from this tragedy, is through therapy. So Black people, don't think that therapy is for white folks and that that's something that's taboo. We all need therapy. Whatever kind of therapy, whether it's with a professional or seeking help in friends, family members, therapy is therapy. Just getting it out and talking about it is therapeutic enough. If you don't have health insurance and you don't think you can afford a therapist, talk to somebody. Call a hotline. There's hotlines for everything. And speaking of hotlines, unfortunately, the suicide hotline has increased 62% amongst our youth. That's scary. And I see it in the youth. A lot of our youth don't have hope. And if you don't have hope, then what are you living for? It's a lot easier to just say, I wish I wasn't here. I wish I wasn't alive. And if you're a homeless youth or a foster child in the foster care system, how do you still have hope? How do you still believe that the world is good and that, things are going to change around or turn around for you? So that's an alarming statistic. 62% increase in the suicide rate. Like for the calls on the suicide hotline, that's crazy. We have to do more to help our youth. I feel like a lot of us are scared of the youth that are out here, and that's understandable too, because they're like, some of them are off the hook. I was talking to some of my members this morning in my Thursday morning class. Shout out to my Y members. They're very faithful to me. And again, it goes back to the parenting. Some of these kids don't have that. Don't think because you had kids and your kids live in the same house with you, under the same roof with you, that you're being a parent. Being a parent is more than just giving birth or having kids. Parenting is the hard part. How many of you parents out there can say, oh, I help my kids with their homework every night. Or I check my kids' homework every night. If you can't say that you at least check it weekly, you might need to reevaluate yourself as a parent. Just my opinion, just saying. And if you feel like I'm coming at your neck, then guess what? Oh well. Oh well. The teachers are not here to raise your kids. Okay? They're here to do a job. And the parents who are lacking make it harder for those teachers to do that job. So do your job, parents. Be a parent. Stop allowing your kids to be bored. TV is raising your kids. Video games are raising your kids. How many of your kids are in activities after school? Sports, arts, anything? How many of you tell your kids they're beautiful, they're smart, they can be whatever they want to be? Or do you just get up and curse your kids out and call them all types of everything but a child of God? Because I hear how some of you parents talk to your kids. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't appreciate it if you were in a relationship with somebody and that person talked to you the way you talk to your children. So let's think about that paradigm, right? That aspect, that, you have parents who curse their kids out. But if you are in a relationship with somebody or just an adult, period, you want to be respected, right? You don't want people just screaming and yelling at you and cursing you out. So you got to give it back to your kids. You got to give it back to your kids. And that's what's lacking. The parenting. Like everybody just wants to do them and turn up and this, that, and the third. Nah. Be present. Be present. So let's talk about something outside of Philly, right? We can talk about this hate crime. It looks like it might be a hate crime. And it's alarming because 4 Muslim men in Albuquerque, New Mexico were murdered. And it appears to be that they were targeted because they were Muslim. They all had the same last name, I believe. One person didn't, but he was still a Muslim man. But the other victims all had the last name Hussein. And I don't think they were of any relation. But people, who do you think you are? That you could just pick out a race and say, hey, I deem you unworthy of living. That's not how life works. And I hope that these people are found. I really hope that these people are found. Because no race deserves to be targeted for any reason. And no one deserves to lose their life senselessly. It's sad and it's a shame. And, we need to just be aware, be more empathetic to other cultures. 3 young women, back to my city, back to this violence, back over here. 3 young women, 19, 20, and 21. All of them were shot multiple times. Officers believe, and it's speculated that this stemmed from a social media beef. How surprising. And I mean, this car was shot up. How do you shoot up a car full of females? What could they have possibly said or done to get their cars shot up like that? Females. I don't believe anyone died, thank God. That's a blessing. But this is just out of control. It's out of control. You turn on the news here, and you can almost guarantee that there's not going to be one night that there's not at least 5 shootings on the news. At least. And that's not even counting the ones that don't make the news. That's alarming. It's alarming. I don't want to abandon my city, and I don't want to, I'm not talking trash about my city, but this is the reality that we're living in Philly right now. Our city is crying out. And what are the solutions? What do we do, people? What do we say? How do we fix this? I feel like it's a long history of things in this city, race. When you come to Philly and you see how segregated the city is, still segregated to this day, that's amazing to me. South Philly is its own world. They are governed by their own laws. They park their cars however they want. Parking authority, I don't even think is allowed to write them tickets down South Philly. That's the way I feel. And they still redline in South Philly. Be black and try to see if you're going to move in on a straight up Italian block or Polish block. You ain't getting that house. You ain't getting that house. They still redlining in this city. It's crazy how segregated this city really is. From every nationality. You go in certain parts of the city, it's all Spanish people over there. You go another part, there's all Africans over here. I'm kind of used to a melting pot type of atmosphere. Not here. Some places you might get that. There's some places, but I feel like that's the outskirts. When you really look at the demographics of this city, segregated. I don't know if it's because people just naturally migrate to their own kind. That could be it. That could be a part of it. But I just, everything about this city I feel like needs to be dismantled and rebuilt. Maybe the whole country. Fuck it. Not even just Philly. The whole country needs to be dismantled and rebuilt. Because it damn for sure didn't have black people's best interests at heart from the gate. Ever. So anything that I feel like laws that are governing us right now is bullshit. Because it was never meant for us to thrive in this country. So that needs to be dismantled. That needs to be changed. Everything. I don't want to hold my hand to my heart and pledge allegiance. They don't even do that anymore. Like, let's talk about that. They don't even do that anymore in the schools. These kids don't know nothing about I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And I still know the whole thing. They don't know that. They don't talk about God in schools anymore. You don't pray in schools anymore. Now I think they're trying to even they don't even teach the kids how to write in cursive. Yo, parents, get on top of your kids. I'm trying to tell you, they trying to dumb our kids down. If they don't know how to sign their name, sign your name, not write it. See, that's the difference. And some kids don't even know what that means. They don't know what a signature is. They just handwrite and print their name. No. These are basic life skills that are being taken from us. Everything is not typed on a computer. People still need to know how to use a pen and write. Basic stuff. But those are all the things that are like starting to become like ancient. I don't really see people writing stuff like that. People are quick to just put notes in their phones. You don't really write notes. Even calculators. How many parents sit up here and tell their kids to pull out some scrap paper? Tell the truth. You make your kids use scrap paper? Then you a real OG. And if you don't, you a punk ass parent. That's the nickname that I have for you, punk ass parents. Paps. That's what you guys are. If you're not checking your kids, if your kids are running you, if you're not engaging with your kids, if you're not holding your kids accountable and responsible, and if you're not holding yourself accountable and responsible, you're a pap. P-A-P. Punk ass parent. And get yourself into shape. Raise your hand if you are and say, hi, my name is so-and-so and I'm a punk ass parent. And go to rehab. Get yourself some help. Because you're raising some punk ass adults. And it ain't going to work. Not out here in the real world. Because we don't want them. You raising these punk ass adults, you can keep them. And let them live in your house and eat up your food and fuck up your life. And enable them until the day they die. But if you want to make productive, responsible human beings, adults, stop being a punk ass parent. Stop being scared of your kids. My kids know I ain't scared of them. I love them. But I ain't scared. By no means will I ever be scared of somebody that came out of this vessel. And my kids respect me. I love my kids. I allow my kids to be their own individuals and be who they are. I encourage them to have a voice and all that good stuff. But I bet you one thing, all my kids' teachers knew who I was. They knew my name. Some of my kids' teachers are my friends. Shout out to Miss Ballard, my sister. So I was that parent. Yeah, I might invite the teacher over to come have dinner with me. That's the type of relationships I built. What's up, G Diddy? What's up, Eam? Those are the type of relationships that I built, you know, with being a parent, being present. Me and my husband. Those teachers knew both of us. And that's important. All right, but I ain't going to chew you, I'm not going to chew you paps up too much. I'm going to fall back. Because I feel like y'all might be getting your panties in a bunch. And that's okay. But I'm going to back up off that for a minute, and then I'm going to show a little bit of love to Brittany Griner. Let's just talk about that for a second. How sad is this? That this woman is locked up and potentially, well, she's been sentenced to 9.5 years in a Russian prison behind having a vape. I don't even think she had, like, actual weed in her bag. She had a vape pen. And I believe that she was prescribed medical marijuana from her physician. It was in her bag. She's traveling on the plane. They confiscate her stuff, and now they lock her up because in Russia, that's illegal. And that's it. Like, how did her life just change overnight like that? 9.5 years. That's too long. And I think Russia's just trying to prove a point because they just feeling themselves right now between the way that they're doing Ukraine and the shit that they're doing right now. They just want to be assholes. But we got to speak up. We got to speak out. We got to do something. We got to protest. Free Britney. Free Britney. I'm about to be making my shirts. I'm about to print them up too. About to print them up. My Free Britney shirts. Let's get them popping. Because we need to get her out of jail. She doesn't deserve to be there. And that's a sad situation. But let it be a lesson learned to all you people who like to travel. You like to travel with your weed and your vape pens. You better check the country that you're going to's laws before you go over there thinking shit sweet. Now your vacation then turned into a goddamn nightmare. Check where you're going. Weed ain't legal everywhere. And rules, all the laws don't apply to black people like they do to white folks. Keep that in mind. So I just wanted to shed a little light on Britney's situation. And again, free Britney Griner. This is just a travesty. That woman deserves to be home. She should be playing ball. You guys are wasting her time, her life, killing it. Like, come on. You guys know that this isn't right. Y'all know that this is dead wrong. Let that lady out. And let her be with her family. So off of that, I'm always going to keep you guys moving and guessing, trying to figure out where I'm going with this conversation. So I also wanted to bring this up because I'm diving into a new career path, right? And most people know me as the yoga lady. And being a yoga instructor, people have certain expectations of you. As far as your lifestyle, as far as your diet, all that good stuff. Well, this is called thinking outside the box, right? Don't put me in no box. I'm a yoga instructor, yes. I'm many other things too. I'm a woman. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm an auntie. I'm a cousin. I'm a grandchild. I'm a brat. I'm an artist. I'm a personal fitness trainer. I'm a business owner. I'm a boss. I'm a bunch of things. So don't put me in a box. And I'm saying that to say I was feeling a little apprehensive about diving into this new career path. And I'm going to talk about it because I want people to come up and show out and have a good time with me on Thursday nights. Shout out to Brianna's Bar and Cabaret. Thursday nights, 9 to 2, I'm turning up. So some people want to put me in a box, like I said, because I do yoga. They don't think that I should be out and have a drink. They don't think that I should eat certain foods. They don't think that I should even be in this party lifestyle because I do yoga. Well, no. I'm not that girl. Don't put me in a box. If I want to have a beer, I'm going to have a beer. If I want to take a shot, I'm going to take a shot. If I want to have, I'm going to just keep that to myself. But whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to let anybody put me in a box. And I encourage anyone else out there who people try to put you in this category, people try to put you in this box. Don't play yourself. I'm like an onion. You start pulling back layers, it's just more layers. It don't end. There's so many different layers to me and who I am. So if my party promotion nightlife offends you in my yoga world, I apologize. However, I am not going to stop living my life and doing the things that I want to do for me and my family and the things that I enjoy. And I encourage you to do the same thing. It's like, think about a pastor, right? People put so much into pastors, and that pastor is just a person, a human being with a passion for the Lord. But if you run into that pastor at the strip club, Is that a sin? Is that pastor doing something wrong? If you see the pastor having a glass of wine, or maybe even taking a shot, I don't know. Is that pastor doing something wrong? If your pastor smokes weed, is that pastor doing something wrong? I don't think so in my world. That might be my favorite pastor right there. I ain't gonna hold you. I would go to that church. The Church of Saints and Sinners and Backsliders, I'll be right there. Clapping my good old hands with my tambourine, showing off, shouting. Because I would rather have a person be their true, authentic self, whatever that is, than to put on a facade and a mask. You don't really know who you are. You don't really know who that person is and who you're dealing with. And if that person don't know who they are, you're not going to know who they are either. That's why when I come on here on this podcast, y'all, I'm giving you me. See me? See my face? All me. No filters, no fronts, no makeup, no nothing. All me. And even my guests, when I have guests on here, I'm telling them, don't sugarcoat nothing. Be you. That is what I'm looking for. Authenticity. I don't want people to come up here and feel like they have to put on fronts. No. So I thank you, the people who are open-minded enough to receive me in this new role as Katia in my nightlife promotion. And no, I am not stripping people. When I send you these flyers and you look at these videos of the night from the night before, that is not me on the pole. It's not me. But I respect what those ladies do. I respect what those ladies do. Stripping is a craft, y'all. Don't be trying to play these strippers. They are athletes. Because I want to see regular people get up on that pole and do what those girls do every day. It's amazing. I respect their craft. I respect their craft. And people try to knock strippers, but baby, don't do it. Some of them girls are very smart, very intelligent. And they're only doing that as a stepping stone to get where they're trying to go. And when I tell you, strippers is winning out here. My dad asked me the other day, he was like, are you dancing? Because I was looking at the video. I said, now, Dad. Now, most women don't like to say their age, but I don't have a problem with it. I'm 42. People don't believe it. Yes, 42, 80s baby on the dot. I look good in clothes. This 42-year-old body looks good dressed up. I would never put this body on a pole butt naked. Butt naked? Now, don't. No, that's horrible. Now, I done seen some stuff. Now, I ain't even going to knock myself. Now, let me backtrack because I done seen some strippers whose bodies was not stripper type of bodies. I guess, you got to be an equal opportunity employer. If you got a strip club, you can't discriminate. But, baby, listen, I don't judge books by the cover no more because I done seen some thickums get up there and work the pole. So I don't judge. I don't care what you look like. You got your fupa hanging out, and then you turn around and throw that leg behind your head like that. Guess what? Respect over here. Bodies come in all shapes and sizes, and I guess so do strippers, y'all. I mean, are y'all against that? Are y'all against strippers with stretch marks and bullet holes and stab wounds looking like Players Club? Are y'all against older strippers? Is there a cutoff age for strippers? Am I too old? 42? Is 42 too old to be out there with the shaky butt? I don't know, y'all. Let me know. Like, most of the exotic dancers are in their 20s, young ladies, fresh. Things are still sitting up. Gravity hasn't taken hold of things yet. But do some men prefer to see a more realistic looking thing on the pole, or do they prefer the fantasy? I know I probably would prefer the fantasy if I was a married man. Why would I want to look at a woman that looked just like my wife? Unless my wife was a bad bitch, then that's possible. But most of us go out for the fantasy, right? So this body ain't no fantasy. It's reality. And it has set in, okay? So come and check me out. Thursday nights, 9 to 2. You will see a whole nother side of me. And those of you who know me already know I'm a party animal. So it's really nothing different. Just come and party with me. Because that's what I like to do. If it's music, good vibes, good food, good people, that's what I'm out here for. I don't like drama. I don't like none of that craziness. Everybody works too hard. I'm grown. So when I come out, I want to have a good time. And that's the environment that I'm providing at Brianna's Bar and Cabaret. Come out tonight. Aside from that, y'all, because I'm almost like, coming down to the wire at the end of this conversation. And I just appreciate you guys again for tuning in, for listening. I encourage you guys to share my podcast with your friends, with your family members. Share them on your social media pages. If you have a business that you want to promote, contact me. Hit me on my inbox. I have advertisement slots. It's not expensive. I will shout your business out right here on the air like I did with Brianna's. Get you right on out there. I'm going to shout myself out because these are my businesses and this is my podcast and this is my time slot. So shout out to Sarah Brand, Simply Altered, Remixed, and Handcrafted. That's one of my clothing brands. We make bow ties, pocket squares, lapel pins, and anything pretty much. Painted denim jackets. You have to check me out with my painted denim jackets, painted pocketbooks. I was just on Fox 29. Shout out to Sue Serio. She's the real G over there at Fox 29. I inboxed her. I inboxed Mike Jarrett. Mike, you never responded. I inboxed Alex. Alex, you never responded. And I inboxed Sue. But Sue responded. And she aired my stuff on her What You're Making segment. How dope is that? So I encourage you people, reach out. Inbox these celebrities. Inbox these famous people, your news reporters, and all these different people. You never know what opportunity could come out of that. And that was so awesome of Sue to do that, to give me that exposure. So shout out to you, Sue Serio, Philly Fox 29, for giving me that exposure. That was awesome. Also, Nelly Yoga Fitness. If you want personal fitness training, you want group sessions, private sessions, yoga, or on the personal fitness training side, line dancing. I also do training for schools. I also do yoga in schools. So if you have a team that you want to work out, football's about to start, guys. Get these kids stretching on the field, basketball, any sport. Stretching is therapeutic for that. It minimizes and reduces the risk of injury. So hit me up. Shout out to West Catholic. Hopefully that'll be an opportunity. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. I'm out here. I'm available. You have questions. If you're an active older adult, don't think that growing old is something that needs to look decrepit and bent over. You don't have to settle into getting old and looking old. You can get old and feel great and feel good about yourself. If you have questions, email me, call me, check out my website, see what I do, nellyyogafitness.com. Find me on Instagram, Facebook. Check out my YouTube channel. There's so many different levels or sides to me. So, yes. Don't forget that this is actually what I do. I'm up here talking and I'm talking about current events and things like that, but I am all about mindfulness. I'm all about yoga. I'm all about mindfulness. I'm all about mental health and mental illness, physical health and physical illness. These are all go hand in hand. So I encourage you to stay positive in your mindset. Find physical activity that you enjoy doing that you can make a part of your lifestyle. That's important to your overall just well-being. You better get in here real quick. Hurry up. Get in here real quick. See, you never know. Like, just because I got 5 minutes left, y'all, don't be thinking that my village ain't my village. You know what I'm saying? Chick with the juice.
Hey.
Chick with the juice.
Oh, my God. Congratulations on your show.
Congratulations on yours.
Oh, man. Listen.
Congratulations on everything.
I appreciate it, man.
This one here, y'all, listen. Y'all.
What's up, y'all? It's my girl right here.
I've been knowing this girl
Shout out to Pennsylvania Institute of Technology. We turned that motherfucker out, baby.
She telling my business.
We turned that school out.
Yes,
but
we did.
forget them because they ain't helped none of us get a job in the field.
Not
We
at
got our
all,
certifications.
not at all,
in.
not
So
at all.
forget y'all, PIT. But shout out to the ones that went there with me.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Nelly. I'm loving it.
Listen, I might crash her show, so y'all might see me on her show next. I'm gonna crash it for like a couple
Better
minutes.
stay tuned. 4 to 5 p.m. Loudmouth Podcast. We in this joint.
Listen, man. I'm just like filled up. Oh, I don't even know why she leaving. Why don't anybody tell her to go nowhere? I just love my people, man. You see what I'm saying? These are the people that I want to be around, like-minded folks. Tune into her podcast. That's coming up next. So if you want to tune into her podcast, Chick with the Juice, tune in on Glockaware. This how we do, people. We support one another. I ain't hating on her podcast. I want her to shine. And she want me to shine. We always been like that. Her energy has always been dope. We've always supported one another. She's a whitehead, y'all. So ain't no stopping us now. Hey, we on the move. That's her daddy. Yes, that's her daddy, y'all. So I'm inspired by that right there in itself. Ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move, baby. I'm going to the top, wherever that is, and I'm going beyond that and beyond that. And I want to bring some of my villagers with me. Who's down? Who's down for the ride? Come on along and ride on a fantastic voyage, okay? Come with me. Sharing some of my ideas. Give me some of yours. I want to just piggyback off of some of the things that you feel. If you want to be a guest, hit me up, people. This is every Thursday from 3 to 4. If you have that free time in your schedule, come on up. Hit me up. You ain't got to do it too far in advance. You can hit me up the day of and say, yo, Nelly, I'm available. Can I come? I'll send you the address and you can be right here in the hot seat with me, getting blessed, blessing people up in here at the Glockaware station. Listen, it goes down up in here, y'all. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to connect with. They got like just the dopest vibes, the dopest people. This is what it's about. Black power, black everything up in here. You know, except for Rosie. Rosie is our gray girl. I love her, but still, I just love what this place is about, what Glockaware is about. Shout out to them again for giving people like me and everybody else who's on that roster for a podcast to have a voice and express ourselves without no judgment and any of that. Like just giving us a voice. So he's the real GOAT. He's the real GOAT. He gives artists a voice. This man does so much, not just the podcast. You need your t-shirts done, hit him up. That man does your shirts and stuff. So when I bring my clothing brand back, you already know, you gotta get ready. Because Nelly Yoga Fitness is coming back. The brand is coming back. So stay in touch with me, people, so you can see what I got going on, what's coming up in my future. Again, tune into my podcast every week. Share it. If you want to get free advertisement, you can find out how to do that. All you have to do is like, view, and share all of my videos, and then you can get one free mention on my podcast. And if you do any referrals or anything like that, we can talk about more mentions for free. But you have to do something to get something, right? So if you can't afford to pay for it, you got to do something. I need something. So the views will help me, the shares will help me, the likes will help me, and I need to get all of that, get my numbers up, and I just want to expose more people to this podcast and let people know what I got going on out here. And if you want to be a guest, please, please, please email me, contact me, text me, approach me on the street. I don't care. I just want to hear from people in the community, white, black, and I don't care, young, old, it doesn't matter. Whatever you have to say, you have to offer to the conversation, and it's an asset to the conversation. So please, don't hesitate. Don't be scared. Don't think because you're going to see yourself on the screen and that it's live that you're going to be nervous. It's a beautiful thing. I'm in here by myself, and I swear to God, I feel like I got a room full of people in here with me. I feel like I'm talking to the world. So it's a different experience, and I promise you you'll be comfortable because I had a great coach me through this whole thing, and now look at me. I'm on my own. Rosie walked me through my first 4 weeks of podcasting, and it was an awesome experience, and now I'm ready. I'm ready to walk some of you through it. So, and if you want a slot, if you're looking for a podcast slot, hit up my man, Too Kid. He might have some more slots available. So if you want a podcast slot, this is where I recommend you come. It's professional. Look, you got the mic, you got the headset, you got somebody in the control rooms controlling the sound. Baby, I feel like a celebrity in here. It's awesome. So check me out every Tuesday. Follow me. Go to my website, nellyyogafitness.com. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, also on YouTube. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys every week, every Tuesday from 3 to 4. Follow me, love me, share me, like me, view me. The power in you and the light in me loves and honors and respects the light in you. Peace. Namaste.